Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Knight of Squires and this is Crusader Kings 2. Thank you for joining me today. This will be my first video that I've uploaded for the channel and in fact to YouTube at all, ever. So thank you for coming on this journey with me. I'm hoping to make it a regular thing going forwards. At the moment I'm on furlough from my regular job, so I'm using this opportunity to build up some content and get my feet underneath me with this, and hope that we can continue to do this going forwards. I've been wanting to make YouTube videos for some time. I watch a number of other streamers and other content creators, especially for Crusader Kings 2. I watch a number of people for that, including One Proud Bavarian and Arumba, etc. And I look up to those guys immensely, so I'll be hoping to make some content that is one day hopefully comparable to their own in terms of quality and intrigue and interest in general. So hopefully that's the eventual goal. But to begin with, we're going to be playing Crusader Kings 2, as this is probably one of my favourite games of all time. I have some near 700 hours playing this game, which I am aware, for those that know Crusader Kings and the community around it, is some pretty rookie numbers actually. I know people personally, not just other streamers and content creators, but I know people personally who have multiple thousands of hours in this game. So hopefully I will be able to reach those lofty heights before Crusader Kings 3 comes out in September 1st. It comes out. From that point on I will be streaming that because I'm really excited for Crusader Kings 3. I cannot wait. But in the meantime, we're going to be doing some content for Crusader Kings 2. I hope to eventually go on to do content for other games as well, but this is where we're going to start, as this is a game in which I am very, very comfortable. So without further ado, let's begin. This playthrough we're going to do the Monarch's journey as Kagan Liao Hongji. Sorry. By the way, if I butcher any of the names, I do apologise. I'm not particularly well versed in how the Mongolian pronunciation or Chinese pronunciations or that kind of region of the world, how they pronounce a lot of their words. So if I do butcher the pronunciations, I am very, very sorry. I will do my best. We are going to be a Buddhist nomad, which is interesting because when I've played nomads in the past, I've stuck almost entirely to Tengri, aside from the odd conversion here and there as children take over and they've somehow become Catholic or some nonsense like that. So we will be playing Liao Hongji, who is a Buddhist. He is an indulgent wastrel. He is slothful, paranoid, cynical, and cruel. So this will be relatively... he doesn't strike me as a very nice person. Historically, he was largely uninterested in ruling, although he did build many temples. He was very interested in spirituality, etc., and not really in the running of his nation. To the extent that eventually he imposed additional restrictions on the clans under him, and they got a little annoyed and eventually killed him off and killed off his entire family. So hopefully we will avoid this fate, but I'm not going to lie, with stats like these, I don't hold out a whole lot of hope. So the challenges for this, we need to have temples that are run by Buddhists. We need 4, 8 or 12 to get the full maximum points. We'll need 12 temples. That's not too difficult once the money starts rolling in, which happens quite easily as a horse lord. You just start sacking places and burning them down, and you end up with more money than you can possibly spend, at which point you can build temples wherever you like them. So that will be nice and easy. That shouldn't be too difficult to get. Landmass is 100 provinces. It goes up to 200 provinces at max level to get the full 6 points. This, I think, is going to be the difficult one, although conquering land. You need to play a very aggressive game for this one, I think, but shouldn't be too difficult, hopefully. And get the clans liking yours. This obviously is relevant because historically he was murdered by some of his own clan, or some of his vassal clans. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen to us, but we need to get our clan to be liked by everybody else. It goes 2, 3, and 4, so we'll be aiming to get all 4 clans liking ours as soon as possible. So I have done a beginning of this playthrough already, just to sort of test it out and test out the recording, etc. So I'm going to restart it and go back from the beginning, but I'm going to keep it on Bronze Man. Normally I would try and play it on an Iron Man game, but with this being my first recording, I don't want issues to come up later and us have to start all over again. So we're going to keep it on Bronze Man for the moment. The only other setting we're going to change, we're going to turn off the Aztec invasion, just because I find that they tend to turn up and destabilize Europe, although at 1066 that's potentially not necessarily true. So perhaps, yeah, you know what, we'll turn it back on in random, just because who knows, it might turn up immediately. Be within the first 50 years or so. I find that the Sunset Invasion is a fun DLC. It adds an amusing little flavour, but at the same time it tends to destabilize the entire region, which, if you are trying to play in that region, can be interesting but a little difficult at times. So from there we will get started. We're going to leave it as Bronze Man Liao Hongji, and we're going to start. Okay, so this is the start position for Liao Hongji. We are the Kargan of this entire area, and we own all of this. So what we're going to do, I made the mistake in the previous tests that I've run of spending this gold really early, which turned out to be a huge mistake on my part. So looking at it, we've got a son who is haughty, affectionate, and slothful. We're going to try and get him at least betrothed to one of the clan's children. You don't have any. You have a son. You have a daughter. She's a Nestorian, which is one of the Christian kingdoms. Early Christian branch, which states that Christ had 2 natures, one divine and one human. It is the opposite of the monophysite position, where Christ has but a single nature. The nominal head of the Nestorian church is the Patriarch of the East. I'd rather not marry into a Christian religion if I can. Da Kinde, you have a daughter. She's got some good stats. Craven is not an ideal trait, nor is paranoid, but fussy can become patient, which is really good. Haughty can become proud, which is okay. Arbitrary or cruel, none of which are good. I don't like haughty as a trait, unfortunately, but +1 martial is nice. And conscientious is fantastic. So we're going to try and arrange a betrothal between you and my son, Jun. That should go ahead, and we'll give them 4 prestige, but that's fine. So now that we've sorted the inheritance, we're going to lose our Karganate because somebody has more prestige than our son. We can't deal with that until he comes of age, so we're going to deal with that later. Choose an ambition. Reject cruelty or defeat fear. Because we are a Buddhist, we can choose to lose these negative traits. He was historically a rather passive ruler. It was quite spiritual, so I think potentially we could use it to get rid of these, but I feel like a man who is paranoid thinks that paranoia is not necessarily a bad thing because it's how you survive. So I don't know if he would be rejecting fear, but defeat cruelty is not I could see him rejecting cruelty. So we'll go with that, and we'll choose to reject cruelty. We'll take that as our ambition. As a focus, I feel like a indulgent wastrel, a slothful, paranoid, cynical man is going to lean towards your intrigue type areas. And I feel like if you're going for a slothful, paranoia would lead me towards intrigue with its increased plot power chance. But I feel like slothful is kind of just going to take it easy and enjoy some of the finer things in life, rather than focusing on trying to achieve things. I feel like seduction is where I'm leaning on that one. Cruel could direct us towards maybe he's a hunter that's not particularly nice about it, or war would also potentially not be a dreadful idea. We are dreadful in martial. It might not be a terrible idea to go down the war route to make up for some of that loss. We are hoping to go for a much more expansion playthrough. So I think we are going to go war, I think. We're going to take this and we're going to go for war. The Vajrayana Buddhists, sorry again for the dreadful pronunciation, Vajrayana Buddhists give us +1 health, so we should hopefully live for quite a while, fingers crossed. So we'll see how that goes from there. And that's everything to do with our character and his son. I feel like with only one child, I want us to have a couple of concubines. They also help increase prestige quite significantly. Not that we really need it at +8 prestige for having our capital at the Tengri Holy Site, giving us +4. That's really nice. So I'm going to take a couple concubines. Let's see if we've got any here that are worth it. So, ooh, quick. See, these are a really good trait because they go into the bloodline, and the more times you have this, the more likely it is for children to inherit them. And +3 to all stats is just really good. So I'm gonna take you as a concubine, and then I'm gonna see if any of the clans will let me take concubines. These are all good, but they're all Nestorians, so I'm gonna avoid that for the moment. Let's take a concubine from here. Let's have a look. Ooh, quick again. Well, and 25. These stats are incredible. She's amazing. Absolutely, you are now my concubine. If my wife dies, I might marry you. Just because that seems like a match made in heaven, looking at those stats. Dear Lord. You are already proposing the marriage, so let's have a look at this. Oh wow, there's a lot of people here. Oh, see, you're the opposite. Imbecile, -8 to all stats. Lord above, you are nothing. We won't be going there. Spymaster, you've got some nice stats. You're Tengri. I like Tengri, but the challenges all need us to be a Buddhist, so I'm gonna not go there. What about, we've got a tributary here. This is our tributary. They pay us some small amount of gold. Do you have any concubines that I can take? Again, all Tengri. Well, if we're going with not our religion, I guess we'll go for those Nestorian. Yeah, see, these are some good. This is a good stat line. This is a really nicely balanced stat line. I think we're going to go with ping. We're going to go with ping, and we'll take that. So now we're going to have 3 concubines in a short period. We've got a wife That will increase our prestige hugely from having 3 concubines, so that's good. Our karma is not building particularly fast, but that is because we are cynical, and that's minus 0.2. So that's unfortunate, but our wealth is also not increasing particularly quickly, but we will work on that. So, let's begin. We're going to play on speed 3 for the moment. I'll pause it if things happen. Let's continue on. So this is... we've turned Ping into a concubine. We've got 1. And we will... Our child lacks the focus. So, Jun, you are affectionate and haughty. I feel like we're going to make you struggle because it can give you some traits that are really good. And these are a bit naff and slothful. Maybe if you struggle a bit, you'll grow out of that. So, that's that. We can create titles like the Kingdom of Mongolia or duchies left, right and centre, but we don't have the gold for that. They cost nearly 200 gold and we only have 100, so we'll not bother with that just yet. Vassal inheritance warning, yes, we'll lose the clans. We need designated region. Normally I would go with my wife, but looking at these, we want somebody to not hate us. Let's go with Dor because we're trying to marry his daughter anyway. So let's make you... I don't know why that's not coming up. And the court physician, what have we got? You are a 20 learning. Hello, Lihu. You are now my court physician. So let's unpause that. We've successfully got that betrothal. Perfect. And you're now the concubine. Perfect. So now I have 3 concubines, a wife. My son has a betrothal. She's a little older than he is, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Even my son doesn't like me. My personal diplomacy is a little poor. All of my traits are giving me minus diplomacy. That's not ideal. So we'll try and get rid of this one. We could join a society. I find that joining the Eagle Warriors... Oh, news from China. Rumours of the military might of the Song Empire is proving to be a forceful diplomatic tool in itself. After what seems like brief negotiations, Thakur Jagdish Chandra of Kangra has peacefully agreed to become a tributary state of the Middle Kingdom. Their couriers whisper that they can only hope that the relationship between the Thakur and the graceful emperor to be a fruitful one. So be it. They become a tributary of the Song Empire. So where are you? Thakur. Is this something I need to worry about? Thakur, where are you? Where is the middle? Where is the Western Protectorate? It's not even here. Are you Thakur? No. I don't even know where this is talking about. Direct vassals. Dynasties? Nope. I do not know. I can't even... No idea. Never mind. Never mind. I have no idea what they're talking about. Somebody has become a tributary of China. That's all I know. So, this is all of our land directly held by us. Khan Wanyun Gaoer of the Wanyan clan has used a favour to call him into all of his factions. Oh yay. What factions have we got? Independence. You are 44%. It's not something I really need to worry about. But God, do these clans hate me. These two are the least hateful. That's good. So we'll keep hold of them for the moment. You can form the chosen of Ashoka. That's or Ahsoka. Ahsoka. That's the same name as the Star Wars character, isn't it? Ahsoka Tano. We can create a holy order formed by them, and they'll be able to do that. But for that, I need 500 prestige, and I do not currently have that. So, also I have to... Oh no, I have to have 500 prestige and 200 karma. I love this tune. Some of the music in this game is really good. These are your standard ones, present various people. People are trying to kill my wife. Xiaogu. Oh no. Oh, actually, I don't blame them. Is that because I have a minus opinion of her? Wow. Wow. That's really mean. I love my wife. I'm not going to send her into hiding, though, because I found that it just gives her a bunch of negatives and it doesn't really help. She's an aspiring duelist. Well, slightly concerning. We were going to join a society. That's what we were going to do. So, the Eagle Warriors, or the Savaka Sangha. Members of the Buddhist monasteries are expected to follow a strict set of rules aiming to attain nirvana through simple and meditative life, forswearing all physical property except the bare necessities. Bhikkhus vow to live only of what others give them. You and your men are practicing wrestling when you notice a crowd starting to form around you. Wrestling is an honor tradition that keeps nomad warriors fit for war, but ever so often it happens that training sessions turn into competitive spectacles. Your men have already started putting on a show for the crowd. They beckon you to join them. What is my... What? My personal combat skill is 8. I am not going to win this, but I can't disappoint the audience now, can I? You have your fun, but I'll sit this one out. I can't really afford the prestige hit, given that this is directly linked to how much everybody likes me, so I'll give it a go. Who knows, it might work well. I could gain the trait Arbitrary, so with matches lasting upwards of 2 hours, Bok wrestling is an excellent way to prove endurance. You and your opponent are expected to dance as you enter and leave the contest field, and it is also expected of the winner to help the opponent up off the ground as the match is over. You know that this will require you to exert yourself to your very limit. I will challenge one of my greatest warriors, which will challenge Di Guang, this guy here, who has a martial skill of 4, a personal combat skill of 4, but he is a martial of 10. I might win that. Naturally, I expect whoever I challenge to yield, which gives me 50 prestige, but gives me the trait Arbitrary, which is minus many things, but plus 1 intrigue, which could be helpful given, you know, historically somebody tries to kill me. But I feel like it's not a... 50 prestige is nice, though. On the other hand, this seems dangerous. Gains the trait Craven. Well, Craven is a terrible trait. We should definitely not get that. And it does seem dangerous, but I'm pretty certain I can't die from this. I'll just look silly. So I think we're going to challenge the greatest warrior. The crowd cheers as you and your opponent dance into the contest field. After circling for a while, you charge in, locking yourself with the opposing wrestler. After several minutes of furious grappling, you spot a weakness in your opponent's defense. You quickly let go of his upper body and grab his legs, tripping him over. He falls over and his elbows touch the ground. You are the victor. Huh! Well, there you go. That'll be his 4 personal combat skill. I have triumph. Now take my hand. I will help you up. Gain 50 prestige and gain Wrestling Master, which gives vassal opinion and personal combat of plus 10. And that will last for 5 years. Nice. It's a nice bonus. There we go. That will actually help everybody to like me more. Good lord. Yeah, so now these only dislike me minus 1 because my prestige is minus 15 points. Lord. But Wrestling Master has helped, and I have a personal combat skill of 18, which is pretty nice now. So, that's all that sorted. We were going to join a society. Let's try again. So these give piety, but minus fertility, piety, and diplomacy. So it gives the diplomacy, but minus fertility, and a tiny cost to modifier for temple build costs. He was intending to be a temple builder. Temple building could be handy, actually. I would like to invite you for a small gathering of friends to dine and drink and forget about the world outside for a little while. Please be prepared to reserve a few days for this in case we truly get into the spirit of the proceedings. Of course! Why would I not? It does sound like a lot of effort, but I'm indulgent. I like the finer things in life. Yeah, we'll go for that. And I think Savaka Sangha. Normally I wouldn't, although -8 revolt risk. I think we're gonna have to join these guys. I would join the Eagle Warriors to go on a conquesty type thing, but historically that isn't what he would have done, and it just doesn't feel like his stat line really lends himself to being a member of the Eagle Warriors. So we're going to join this, although he's slothful. I don't think he'd join these either. Is somebody raiding me? Who's fighting me? Oh, I don't care. These are raiding my vassals. They're not taking any money off me. I don't feel like he'd join either society, honestly. So as a wrestling, like he's clearly enjoys his physical exertion. He's taken the war focus. Maybe he could join the Eagle Warriors. Maybe that's a thing. The Eagle Warriors of the Steppe carry an ancient tradition of training and hunting with birds, the most prestigious type being the golden eagle. The hunters, also known as, oh Lord, Berketucci, are said to only need 3 things in life: a fast horse, a faithful dog, and an eagle. And it gives monthly prestige and allows me to duel people and make people shield maidens and makes me more resilient in battle. I think we're going to do it. I know I said that it seemed unlikely, but having just wrestled, he clearly enjoyed that. And I think maybe it is something that he would take up. So we're going to attempt to join the Eagle Warriors. And I will gladly fight to prove myself. But first, let's get this carousing started. I will fight to prove myself. Maybe he's carousing with some of the Eagle Warriors. A duel for honour, huh? It will take place in the next couple of days. Oh, and I am wounded. I have lost. The onlookers are cheering for Edelkyuk as he is swinging his bare hands with increasing enthusiasm. When it's over, the man looks at me with pity. Ah, by Brahman! That hurt, man! Sorry, that was a dreadful impression. You lose the duel. I gain the trait wounded and swollen wrist. But my dueling, my experience increases at least. And I've somehow got blood on me, probably from the pommeling I just got. So, my son is missing his favourite toy, which can gain fussy or lose prestige, and he might still gain fussy. Now, I've never had them not gain fussy, so I'm just gonna gain the fussy and not lose the prestige. But he does hate me now, so there is that. The Kityu clan wants to play board games with me, or play war games. Let's go for it. We played for hours, the tides of misfortune ebbing and flowing as I tried to attack my opponent's positions without opening my defense too much. Eventually, however, I made a fatal mistake and my opponent exploited. And I lost the game. I will get you next time. My martial skill is terrible because I am wounded. Awesome. During your initiation, your display of bravery and good attitude impressed us all. We would gladly invite you into our ranks. Perfect. I've joined the Eagle Warriors and gained sympathy for pagan religions. This character, though not a pagan, has a special sympathy and understanding for pagan faiths and their practitioners. I know that there wasn't really anything at stake during the mock duel that took place between us, yet I find myself filling with rage whenever anyone mentions Edelkyuk, and it is making servants flinch. But does it matter? I am the Kargan. Am I not allowed to loathe the man? I will make him pay for this in time, or the feelings shall pass. I'm trying to work out, do I think he would go for a vengeance? He is cruel. Cruel seems like the most logical one. So, I think we're going to go for this. Fueled by rage. Oh, it gives plus 1.1 health and plus 5 personal combat skill, but we become bitter rivals. What's his personal combat skill like? 27! 27! And that's with a concussion. Oh, Lord. He is very... I mean, to be honest, he's a brilliant strategist. He's very good. Bitter rivals might not be a great plan. He might kill me. But I think that's what we're going to have to go with. I think as a cruel character, it makes the most sense. Until blood stains your weapons. So, to prove your mettle, seek out and duel this guy, a fledgling of the followers of Otso, until blood stains your weapons. May only one of you walk away from it still breathing. Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, might as well have the duel. The carousing is over for now. It's time to get back to real life. Well, it was fun. Gained 20 prestige. Let's duel this character then. Why can I not duel you? Because I've recently been in a duel. Okay, well, I will come for you at a later point. You are also wrathful. Man, I would like this wounded to go away. I will also have a personal combat skill of 3. So I feel like we haven't really achieved a whole lot of the objectives that we set out for today. But I think now that we're set up, I think we're potentially... Let me just check how long we've been running for. No, we've got a little more time left yet. So we'll carry on for a short while longer. I think... Oh, somebody's trying to kill my son. Oh dear. Can't have that. We'll find out who it is. We will have to murderize them. The cook has prepared a fine meal, but the priests preach about being temperate. So he was traditionally a relative, like with a learning like that and a stewardship. He was a good Buddhist ruler, and I feel like a good Buddhist wouldn't be stuffing himself to the point of gluttony. So I think he will satisfy himself with bread and water, and will hope to gain temperate. We did indeed gain temperate. That's fantastic. +2 stewardship, +5 church opinion, +5 same trait opinion, and -5 opposite trait opinion. This is a really good trait to have. It's given us a nice stewardship of 10 as well, which will hopefully help us to actually gain some money at some point. A noble by the name of Fei Zhishong came to my court today seeking asylum. He claims to have escaped from China after the rest of his family was executed on the orders of the emperor. O great Kargan, your merciful nature is known across the land. I implore you to grant me refuge. It would be an untold kindness. He's a Han. He's a Taoist. He's got no traits worth talking about. We don't owe any real allegiance to you. But Buddhism does treat you don't hurt people, but we have sympathy for pagan religions, indulgent, cruel. See, cynical and cruel. So of course you can stay here. Was there some kind of reward on your head? You allow him to stay, but you secretly send a note to the emperor. Or I dare not anger the dragon. I think we're going to see if we can get some kind of reward for this. As we own that man nothing. Now, we need to begin expanding, because we're not going to get anywhere otherwise. So, I think... Who are you? You are a Taoist. You are a dynastic kinslayer. I think we're going to declare war on you for subjugation. No. Subordination. Lose 300 prestige. I can afford it. We can become known as the Eastern Wind, the Despoiler, the Chitin Marauder, the Bane of Xia, or the Slayer of the Tangut. But we can subdue large foreign areas in one go, which I think is the way we're going to go for this. If we win, they lose prestige and we vassalize all titles held by them. If we white peace, we lose even more prestige. So I think we're going to subordination and take... It's only 2 provinces though. Like, for that... We can't do the invasion because we don't have a high enough population. Subjugation we could do, but we'll lose 500 prestige. But we would gain everything. And then we can take it all off them and burn it all to the ground and gain a load of money back. But we can't do that either. Why can't we do that? We can't do that because we need a prestige of 500 to lose. Okay. So we'll come back for this. We will come back for this. Soon after writing to the Chinese emperor, an emissary arrived with several guards. However, Fei Zhishong had escaped the night before. Someone must have warned him. And all the emissary said before he left was, "The emperor will be displeased." What a fool I look. We lose 200 grace. We don't have any grace, so we can't lose any. So that's not the end of the world. He does like Hindus. And he hates concubines. Perfect. We can't ask. We could pay him supply horses. That would gain us 100 grace and monthly grace. Get supplying horses to China, giving the following effects: less manpower growth, but monthly grace of +2. That's not the worst, actually. We could kowtow before him, which gains us grace but costs prestige, or send him a eunuch. We don't have any eunuchs. We could make our court physician a eunuch. Dear Lord, that would be cruel. We're not going to do that just yet. Oh dear, you're travelling by carriage in the countryside of Otukan. When it comes to a sudden halt, the road has been blocked by a fallen tree, and the coachman explains that you will have to make a slight detour on an isolated, smaller path. No, you fool, it's a trap! I think about to die. You force your way through the improvised barricade, narrowly avoiding an ambush by highwaymen. They send an accurate volley of arrows after your carriage as it speeds away, missing it by mere inches. Only mercenaries in the employ of Khan Wayangoers are so precise. You, sir, have tried to have me killed. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of this. You tried to kill me, and you want to kill me. God, everybody's trying to kill me. Right. Now we are in open rebellion. Okay. He has 1,500 men. Let's call to arms. Slightly military. I have no vassals. Can't even call any of my tribal vassals to war. Oh dear. This is not good. So let's grab a couple extra of these. We now also have 1,500, but it's cost us a lot of prestige, and it's going to cost us a lot of prestige over time. But that's going to have to be how it works. Our ally is definitely coming to war. That's good. And now he's going to come in here. We're going to sit here and try and reinforce as much as possible before he arrives. We have 3, quite honestly, dreadful commanders. Dear God. Let's see about quickly pulling some commanders in. Excellent. Let's pull a couple commanders in. This is gaming it a little bit. You pull a couple commanders like that. And then you can go to Council, Minor Titles, Show Commanders Only, and kind of swap out all your bad ones for all your good ones. It's a little gamey. It's not great, but and then you can just stick them in here. You can go in the middle. And you two can go on the flanks. Perfect. And the longer we wait, the more morale we'll have when they arrive. Which is good, because we're going to need it. We also have more men than them. Better commanders than them. Looks like we might etch this out. But looking at these morale bars, I think we're going to... Yeah, we lost. I don't know how we lost, but we lost. Oh, let's go running. Yeah, this is definitely the time to go running. It's good to be recognised, however, so that gains me 100 prestige, which is good. So we're gonna ready up our men, put those commanders back in. Did our 21 commander get captured? That would be really irritating. We'll have to go and crush our opponents and see them driven before us, and hear the lamentations of their women. So we will see how that goes. Now that we've recovered, let's... Yep, I think he got captured. How unfortunate. So I guess you can go in the middle, and back we'll go. There's a lot of wandering about. Child lacks focus. So this is our son again, and we are... we lost the siege. We're going to have to go with a martial focus, even though he's got no positive traits, because all of his others are going to end up naff anyway. And hopefully these can turn into some useful traits, and we're going to need a son that can continue our martial ambitions. And I feel like now that we are part of the... my scar has finally healed. Perfect. I feel that now that we are part of the warriors, what are they called? The Eagle Warriors. The Eagle Warriors. We are going to be a more mindful of the more mindful of the military aspects of our characters. Monks from the local monastery have approached you asking for donations. They need to accommodate the rising number of worshippers and still have enough provisions to maintain their other work and studies. You can give them gold for 30 karma. You lose 2.9 gold, and we gain plus 25 temple vassal opinion. Give them food, which gains 10 gold, or this is none of my concern. We will give them gold because we can afford it, and the karma is nice, and I feel like it is... He was a very religious man, so I feel like it would be in the best interests. So we're going to take this back, because this is ours. You can't have this. We'll just crush this. And now we're going to jump over here, and we're going to try this combat again. Now that we have full morale, let's try this again. And this time, hopefully, we will crush them utterly, because we can't be dealing with them constantly sieging all of our stuff. So this flank is being utterly destroyed again, and it's going to cost us this whole fight, I think. Yep, it's going to... I don't know why we are losing these, but we are... This general is amazing. And we've been overthrown. We have been overthrown because apparently we cannot win a war for toffee. And we've become our son. I'm not entirely certain how that happened, but we have become our son, with our heir being our father. The new clan has proposed that they marry this courtier to their son. Sure, you can have that. We are now not making any money, so I need to go down and turn this down a little because it's eating all of our coffers. Might have to just... Yeah, we'll turn that down a sec. I don't entirely know why we lost that, and I definitely don't understand why we've become our son, rather than our father. Our previous character, Liao Hongji, is now the steward, because of his decent stewardship, and we have become our son. Our future wife has fully grown. She's groomed. She's got good stats. She doesn't like us very much. Clan sentiment is a real problem here. So we've unfortunately lost our primary Khaganate title, which is really frustrating. But I think we're going to call it a day there. And tomorrow, because I'm hoping to upload content every day, tomorrow we are going to take all of this back and continue on our path and potentially start expanding and getting some more land, because we're definitely going to need it. So with that all said and done, I will bid you adieu. I will see all of you tomorrow.